The 2025 budget was the budget that was never meant to happen. But now it has. So what's in it? This is very much an election budget. And by that, I mean that it prioritises short-term political fixes and gain over the longer-term, bigger picture issues like the global headwinds we're facing or the need for some really big tax reform. So what does a government do in a budget that's probably just days away from an election? Well, it gives anything it can to the average voter. It's going to cost the government more than $17 billion along with the Medicare levy threshold increase, but it's going to mean that the average taxpayer gets more than $200 in a tax cut next year and then more than $500 in a tax cut the year following. That equates to about $5 a week and then $10 a week extra in your pocket. That comes on top of the extra $150 energy bill rebate. The government is also spruiking this 4.7% increase to the Medicare levy, which means an increase to who will be exempt from the Medicare levy, even though technically that sort of increase occurs basically every year. So what does it mean for an election? Well, if they're lucky, it'll mean a net positive for the government. It'll mean that they can spruik their message that we're about to turn a corner economically. If they're not so lucky, this will be a net neutral. And yes, there will be those who are a bit negative about this, who see some of the things like tax cuts just as a vote buying exercise. And sure, that cynicism will be a negative for Labor. To be clear, this is still a first-term government. If Labor was in its second or third term, we might be a bit more cynical about a desperate ploy to hold on to power, but this is just a little bit less poignant, particularly as we're still facing a cost of living crisis.